Anthropic just released Claude Sonnet 5, and if you run a small business and you're not paying attention to this one, you're leaving money and time on the table. This isn't a small update. This is the model that closes the gap between the cheap AI and the expensive AI. And for small businesses, that gap closing is a big deal. I'm going to break down what's new, what it actually means for your business, and why this is the moment to move. And if you're new here, I'm J. Todd Jennings. I'm a fractional CTO and AI architect and automation consultant. I spend my days building systems that get real work done, not just AI demos. So when a model release actually changes what small businesses can afford to automate, I pay attention, and so should you. Let's get into it. Here's the short version. Claude Sonnet 5 is Anthropic's most agentic sonnet model yet. Agentic just means it can plan, use tools like browsers and terminals, and carry a task through to the finish line without you babysitting every step. Up until now, that level of autonomous, multi-step work needed the bigger, more expensive Opus class models. Sonnet 5 closes most of that gap. Independent testers are already seeing it handle two-part jobs end to end. Things like updating a CRM and sending a follow-up campaign in one pass without stalling halfway through, which used to be the norm. That matters because most small businesses were priced out of the smart tier. Now the smart tier got a lot more affordable. Let's talk about what this looks like in the real world, because benchmarks don't pay your bills, results do. Point 1, it finishes the job. Testers describe Sonnet 5 checking its own work without being asked, writing a test to reproduce a bug, fixing it, then confirming the fix actually worked, all in a single pass. For a small business owner, that translates to fewer half-finished automations and fewer close enough outputs you have to clean up yourself. Point 2, it's priced for you. Sonnet 5 launches at introductory pricing of $2 per million input tokens and $10 per million output tokens through August 31st. That's a fraction of what the top tier models cost. If you've been automating customer support, drafting proposals, managing your CRM, or building out workflows in a tool like N8N, this directly lowers your cost per task while raising the quality of the output. Point 3, it's already where you're working. Sonnet 5 is now the default model on the free and pro plans, and it's available on Team, Enterprise, and Max. It's built into Claude Code and the Claude platform. You don't need a special setup. If you're already using Claude, you already have access. Point 4, it's safer to hand off real work. Anthropic's own safety testing found Sonnet 5 refuses malicious requests more reliably, hallucinates less, and resists prompt injection attacks better than the previous version. If you're a small business owner, handing this model access to your email, your calendar, or your customer data, that reliability is not a nice to have. It's the whole ballgame. Here's where I'd point a small business first. If you're doing repetitive, multi-step work, lead follow-up, invoice generation, appointment reminders, basic customer support triage, content drafts, this model is now good enough and cheap enough to run that work autonomously, not assist you. Run it. That's the shift. You're not paying a premium for a research lab grade model to do busy work anymore. You're paying a fraction of that for a model that finishes multi-step tasks the way a competent junior employee would, and it doesn't need a lunch break. If you've been holding off on AI automation because the good models felt too expensive to justify for a small operation, that excuse is gone as of this release. Bottom line, Claude Sonnet 5 narrows the gap between cheap and limited and powerful and expensive. For small businesses, that's the sweet spot you've been waiting for. If you want help figuring out where this fits into your business, whether that's customer support, sales follow-up, or back office automation, that's exactly what I do. Systems over shortcuts. I am JT. Let's build something that actually finishes the job.